And welcome back, everybody, to the WoW Nightcap. My name is Flattus. With me, as always, my good friend and co-host, Talan.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Listen, we're right on the cusp. We're right there. We got roughly 30-ish days left in Mop Remix. Tuesday, we have the pre-patch, and then August is just, it's almost here. We got roughly a month. We're a month away from War Within. Can you believe it?
It's right around the corner, and the closer and closer it gets, the more excited. Like, I tried not to let myself get hyped, so because I tried to stay level during Dragonflight, right? And I think I did a pretty good job where I wasn't overly fanboy about it. But the closer and closer we get to the War Within, I'm just like, oh my god, I need it. Oh my god, I need it.
I don't need it. You're like SpongeBob with the water.
I don't need it. I don't need it. No, I need it. I need it now. I need it right now.
There's like, I need it.
So yeah, I mean it's just right around the corner, and to get us ready for that is pre-patch, which drops a week and a day as of the
No, it
listening
drops.
of
It drops soon, like less than a week of the day. It drops 1, 2, 3 days. Wait, 2 days from now of time of recording.
Oh really? I thought
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sooner than I thought it was the 30th.
No, 23rd.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, it's sooner.
Oh, let's go.
Let me confirm. Hold on, all right, hold on a second, because I thought it was sooner than this. You're right. The article says July 30th. All right, hold on a tick. Hold on. Was I being lied to by something? I feel like I was being lied to by something.
I don't know, but
Something. You keep going. I'm gonna fact check something.
okay. Well, the War Within pre-patch is going to be starting July 30th, and it's going to run all the way through August 26th. And boy, howdy, are there a bunch of things to talk about. So first and foremost, you're going to be able to, let's just go ahead and talk about the thing that we all kind of expect was going to happen. This isn't really news, this isn't really spoilers. I mean, this is like they introduce a really cool part of the game. It's here to stay. Dragon riding is now going to be called sky riding. And with skywriting, you are basically going to take any mount that you have, and it's going to be able to do the dragon riding type-esque mechanics, which I think is really, really cool because you go a hell of a lot faster dragon riding than you do anything else. And if you've been playing World of Warcraft for any amount of time, trying to get across any continent on just a regular mount takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super exciting. So we're just gonna get that one easy peasy part out of the way. But the thing that not that I'm most excited about, because the thing that I'm most excited about we'll save for a little bit later. But the thing that I really want to talk about to open up the show, warbands, specifically because of all the Talan alts that I have. It's gonna be a warband of Talons, and I'm really excited about that. Do you have thoughts about warbands now that we actually get to see kind of what it's going to entail? And we're going to be able to get like warbands light come pre-patch.
Well, I've now confirmed. So the War Within pre-expansion content update goes live on the Tuesday. So Warbands arrives Tuesday. Skywriting arrives on Tuesday. The class and system updates arrive on Tuesday. And then the pre-expansion, the early, the Radiant Echoes event starts on the 30th. So what comes Tuesday is Warbands. So we'll be able to start seeing that content right away. I am excited. I like the idea of the idea that our accounts are going to have this moment of, okay, here's the new stuff coming, right? Like you're gonna get this war band. It's gonna have an all new entry screen. Blizzard's already saying like, hey, guess what? There is going to be different sort of camps and stuff like that for these war bands. I like the new setup. I like that, like my characters kind of hanging out around a campfire. And we know, you and I both know that um I think you and I kind of come up to, have had the idea, and then like that there's going to be different scenes, and I feel like that's great for like old content, right? Like, oh, hey, you want to go back and run, I don't know, Molten Core, and you'll get unlock the Molten Core warband start screen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which that's a really cool addition, especially like just like you were saying. If you have like a nostalgic itch and you want to see like a background reminiscent of ye olden days,
Hmm.
um, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, it sure is. I also like the concept of like, hey, more more bank space than before. Like here you can put armor sets, you can put items, crafting items. Like, there's always that thing like, oh, I had a mail, I have my mage who does you know uh tailoring and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, I got all this cloth. All right, I'll mail all this cloth. And now I can just run to the bank really quick, drop it in there, and be done, right? Like I don't have to worry about like going in, dropping all. You can only fill out so many slots, right? And then it's like, okay, send that out. All right, cool. And then do another one because I got more to do. Like I can just drop it off in the warband, and it's done, and I'm good with that. Like the shared achievements is going to be great. Like it's to draw a parallel, right? Like for those that have played Final Fantasy, you'll know what I'm talking about. For those who've not played Final Fantasy, uh, this concept might be similar. You'll be like, "Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense." Like, so in Final Fantasy, you have one character you can level all the classes on. Warcraft's doing the warbands is a different. Like, this is how I figured it out. Warbands is the different approach to that, where you can make all the alts, and the player, are you're leveling all the different classes, right? And then your all your characters have access to, like, so even if you level, you do your dailies on one thing, you're gonna do your dailies across, like that stuff can be done, of course, across the board in all your classes, which is fine. But
Hmm.
like quests are shared, which is great because that means now I don't have to worry about redoing a quest I don't want to do. Unless I want to do it, I can. It gives me the option to, like, there, I am, we're going to be able to level things faster because that's something that happens in Final Fantasy. Once you get a certain class up to max, your other classes get like a little bit of a bonus to XP. It's not much, but like World of Warcraft's doing a little bit better. I actually like for every one you get a little extra boost. So it's like, all right, like, you get up to 5, you're gonna have a 25% gain to XP gains. Great. That's fantastic. For every one I level, I get a little bit better. It takes a little less time. And then I'll be able to share all the gear and everything like that, which, you and I mean, you, I think more so than me, you have more, I think, more jobs, more classes unlocked in Final Fantasy, or I should say leveled in Final Fantasy. So, you know how bad, you know, space is over there. So
Oh boy, yes.
so having a warband bank and it's massive too. Like those that you get a lot of space in those banks. The ability just to put like gear in there for other classes is fantastic. So I'm excited about it all. What are you excited about the warband system?
So you kind of took the exact same thought that I was going to. Not that you took it, like it's just like if you're familiar with Final Fantasy, you kind of drew that conclusion where warbands essentially becomes you as a character if you were going to make that equivalent to 14. Um, which I think WoW is doing it a bit better because inventory space is a problem in 14. And so in warbands or with warbands, you are essentially going to have access to every class really easy on one front page, and then also having every quest shared, every reputation shared. So it's like you did it on one character already. So you can have your main, and then your alts really are like your secondary, third, fourth, fifth, however, like whatever priority you want to give it. And you just have to manage the inventory um, in one giant guild chest, essentially. I mean, I think it actually might be as big as. Isn't it as big as the guild chest?
It's Yes, I believe it is. It's it doesn't say how many slots. I'm looking at a screen of it right now, but it doesn't say how many.
It's
How
huge
many
though.
slots?
Like
It is
it's
huge.
it's gigantic. So I mean, if you have problem, let me put it this way: if you have problems filling your personal bank with just crap and you don't know what to do with it, you're gonna have problems with inventory management, and that's just a you problem. But if you kind of like cycle through your stuff and kind of make sure that you have everything kind of in order, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna
That
be absolutely fine.
it's at 98. So there's 98 slots per
Yeah,
tab.
that's
And the tab slots, the first one's 1,000 gold, which isn't that bad, and the second tab is 25,000 gold, which isn't that bad. Tab 3, I think it's going to be fine for
hmm
most people. 100,000 is probably okay for some people.
the
It's
next one though.
the next 4 and 5 are going to be a little rough. 5 is rough. But I don't know how that scaled to that amount, but that's a lot. Like 1,000, 25,000. Like I still don't understand the like who has that gold amount? Like who's out there that's just am I doing something wrong? Like should I
I
have a
mean,
million gold somewhere?
have you seen the auction house?
I have. I go there. I dabble. I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
There are a lot of people who their main class is auction house. Like that is their
That's
main class.
their class name is auction
Yeah,
house.
auction house.
Like, hi, my name's
Um,
Auction House. Hey, how's it going? Auction House here.
I mean, there are whole alts that are dedicated to just doing that. And that's the other thing too. Like your alts that were set up to have like its own guild bank because you just needed to gather and farm that many mats. You essentially have that sort of access now across all characters. So that's really cool, and you're going to be able to move all of that back and forth pretty easily. And so the amount of inventory space really, even though it says 96, it's going to be much larger than that because you're going to be able to move items between characters now seamlessly. There's not going to be any more of this going to the mail, sending it, and then switching to your other character, picking it back up, pulling it into your inventory, and then going to put it in your bank. It's just all going to happen more or less seamlessly. I mean, there are a few steps you're going to have to go through, but it'll go
No,
pretty quick.
I'm with you. And on top of it, right? Like there's also the warband items, right? Like there's going to be items it's like, hey, warbound until equipped, right? And then if you equip it, then it's soulbound. But then the
Yeah,
fact that it's warbound, you can throw right in the chest, perfectly fine.
which is
Uh,
going to make transmog farming so much easier because one of the biggest complaints that I had, like if I ran on my Death Knight and let's just do Lich King, for example, and I run through there and only one plate piece drops, but I've got like 6 leather pieces.
yeah.
Well, my DK can't use that, but now with warbands, my demon hunter can now have access to all of that stuff because it's going to be warbound, not soulbound.
And so one thing I've noticed that Blizzard has been pretty good about like, hey, we really just want to bring fun back to Warcraft. Like, so one of the things I was thinking about, it's like, well, as I'm leveling through a raid or myth, I think raiding mostly. Like, I, I everything's gonna drop for like my warrior, right? Like, unless I roll on something specific. But then they have a thing where there's a small bonus chance to gain an additional warbound item until equipped gear as personal loot. That's a great like even if it's a small chance, let's say 15%. Like that's low enough where I think it's like, all right, maybe not every boss, but like out of let's say there's 10 bosses. Out of those 10 bosses, maybe one or two of them, you know, if you run twice a week, you're gonna get 2 pieces a week, maybe, right? That's pretty good, I think.
I agree with you 100%. Um, and that just goes into that more like it really is a warband thing that's shared across all of your characters, not just when I first heard about it, I thought it was just lip service where they were just going to be like, "Oh, you get to just categorize your characters as a warband," and that was more or less all we were going to do. But they've definitely gone way above my expectations, and um, that right there, everything that you just explained is the thing that I wanted most out of warbands, and they did it. So I'm super, super excited about that. Because I mean, we joke pretty often about how many alts that I have, but I have all of these alts because I genuinely enjoy playing those classes, and then sometimes I get bored playing one class, so I want to switch over to another one. I'm not punished for doing that anymore. I can share gear, I can share reputation, I can share items, I can share mats. Like it's all open, and I couldn't be happier about it.
And then on top of it, right? Like there is the ability by playing the games, you're gonna earn gear that's a single tier lower than your current gear. So that's a great help.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like if you are like, all right, I've gotten my I got my rogue up to a good start, and then I want to start leveling my mage. Your mage is like, oh, my mage is gonna be so far behind on gear. Da, da, da." Like, no, it's maybe, and it's kind of not. Like, it's kind of a solid system. Like, like you look at Guild Wars 2, right? Like gear and Guild Wars 2. That's a tongue twister. Gear in Guild Wars 2 is very level agnostic, right? Like there's very little of you needing to grind out gear. You have to grind out gold to pay for the gear to make it to craft it, but then that gear lasts you every single expansion that they've ever had, right?
Right.
There's less treadmill there. There's more of a treadmill for gold than there is for the gear. Now here, I feel like they're lessening the treadmill. Like there's still a treadmill, gear treadmill here, but I feel like the gear treadmill for Blizzard is instead of it becoming a fast neck break run, right? Like you hop on the treadmill and you just go, set the incline to 10 and set, let's ramp this up to full speed. It's now, I think, more of a leisurely, like a very leisurely walk out of zero incline. It's very
Well,
much a like, all right, I can level up, I can upgrade my gear with flight zones, right? I'm
mhm.
gonna and then like I'm gonna be able to just upgrade it to a point where it's like, oh, then I can upgrade it from a green to a blue with like the next tier, and then upgrade those with flight stones, right? And then I'm also now earning gear for my other classes that's a tier lower, which is perfectly fine by me. So now I don't have to run that treadmill as long or as hard for my other characters.
Right.
Like I just feel like they're figuring out the pace of making the treadmill not a terrible concept, right? Like it used to feel like, oh, this gear, like unlike classic WoW, where it's like, all right, this gear is gonna last me the entire, vanilla until I get to Burning Crusade, right? Now it's more of like, all right, there's a chance where like, yeah, I'm gonna have to replace this gear, but it's not gonna feel as bad because I'm gonna just earn more gear for my other classes too, so I don't have to feel as bad. And then I'm still upgrading my other gear. That doesn't feel as bad. It's like they're like I don't feel like they're taking the job aspect of out of the game, which I'm okay with, and it just letting me play the game, which again I'm okay with. So
Yes. And I mean, without a doubt, hitting the nail on the head there. Um, Again, it goes back to that not being punished for playing other classes.
yeah,
And I remember we talked at length about that whole issue where
mhm.
they promised that it was going to be alt friendly. And I think it was Ian Hazakosis who said, well, I know that we've said this before, but we really mean it this time. I even think he was grilled by Preach in one of those expose interviews where like he kind of sat down and had like a come to Green Jesus meeting, and they were just like, look, man, you said and promised us a lot of things before. How can we trust you this time around? And I think he said something to the effect of, I can't say a whole lot right now, but what's coming ahead is going to be much more alt friendly, more than we've ever had it before. And it's nice to see that they're actually keeping true to that word, and it's all within a baked system that's going to last I would assume the rest of WoW's existence. Because it's going to be so integral to just kind of what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? So not only is this just for an expansion, which has kind of been like, oh, things are going to be all friendly for this expansion, but I mean, you still have level, 1 all the way through 50, 60, 70, right? I mean, long time ago, up to 110, that you still had to go through with all of those characters. And now, um, like the gearing, mats, like all of it, like everything that we've already said already just now is just going to be so much easier, and it's going to backtrack to your, like, if you wanted to go to the Isles with the very first like fresh level 1 character, you absolutely can, with still all the access to everything that you've had access to up until that point from all your other characters. Granted, level locked, but you kind of expect that. Like, that's one thing. But having like, okay, well, if I farm gear for like level 30, like each milestone, right? Level 30, 30 will take me to 40, 40 will take me to 50, so on and so forth. And I don't want to. Do we want to talk about gear now? Because there's a nice little tidbit that we can get into
Sure.
that's going to help with the whole like warband thing, because it goes into like the conversation of heirlooms, right? Gear really shouldn't be an issue if you've been playing long enough. You have access to heirlooms. Well, with the call of the Radiant Echoes, which is coming out, we are going to have essentially a new set of heirlooms to go after. If I'm reading this right, have you got a chance to look at it yet?
Yeah, you'll be able to get a new ring. So you're reading it right. It's one item that you can get, and it's a ring, which is great. Uh, and the cool thing. Hold on, let me pull it back up. I lost my place. Where's the items? There we go. The lifeless stone ring. Infused with essences of Azeroth to restore its power. An ancient ring, Titan ring that has faded with time. Perhaps it could be restored. It's our heirloom ring, which is wonderful.
So having another heirloom, I think is going to be super, super awesome. But this, let's say that you've just played WoW for the first time during Dragonflight, and you've only stayed with one character, right? And you didn't interact with the heirloom system because, let's be honest, the game doesn't really like tell you about it. You've got to be told about it, kind of like a Fight Club sort of situation.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's out there. Accessories kind of were hard to find, especially when you're leveling. So having a whole access to a ring, now you'll be able to get one of these, and this heirloom was going to be able to backtrack to your, let's say you were a demon hunter and now you want to do mage for the first time. Having systems like this are going to be super duper helpful. And I'm really glad that it's here. And that is the thing that I'm like most excited about, is that they're keeping true to their word, and all of my alts will finally like be relatively geared. And so when we go into raids or anything like that, and we're like, hey, we're missing this like role or whatever, I can actually jump in and fill that role, like I would in any other MMO that I've ever played.
Yeah. And yes, you'll be able to buy gear during this event as well. The items, some of the notable items you'll be able to get is not only the lifeless stone ring that you can upgrade to the heirloom ring. Of course, you'll get the defender's hefty satchel, which is 2,000 residual memories. That's the, by the way, that's uh, the tender, I guess you could say. The oh, what's the word for it? The oh, I can't think of the item. What's it called? Well, I'm just gonna call it the man, I can't think. Talon, what's the word for, like, not token, not tender, like the
Um. Oh dear God.
yeah. See now, great. Now we're both in the boat of not knowing what the word is. Someone listening is yelling at us.
Trading post.
Yeah, not trading posts, not tenders. I'm thinking of like what, like not your. It's like your flight stones, your currency. Oh, there we go. Damn. All right.
Oh my God.
Sweet mercy. 25. Your residual memories is the currency that you get through the process of doing the Radiant Echoes event. It's 25 to buy the life string, which is nothing. It's but it needs to be upgraded. So you need to keep uh, collecting memories throughout these zone events. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is do a Radiant Echo event, buy the ring, and just keep doing Radiant Echo events. Here's the thing: you can do this, Talon, would you like to make another talent alt? Because you can start doing this at level 10.
Oh
and
wow.
and I heard that the leveling is very good. Like you'll be able to level a character fairly quickly through this event.
Yeah, so that's the other part. All of my alts that have been, so this is going to be my like driving force for pre-patch. I still have not decided on a main for War Within. Still not decided on that. So I'm going to take every single alt that I have and I'm going to level them to max during the pre-patch event. Because currency is going to be shared, so it doesn't matter which one I stay on, and I can just enjoy the entire the entire pre-patch, like just having a great time. And I'm so excited, and I'm just gonna run around booping all the ghosts and doing all the things. It's like I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is that you're going to be able to like gear your characters as well because the
Mm-hmm.
minimum item level for the gear is 480 with some room for upgrades. 480 is great. Like that's a great, you know, thing. And then like also you'll be able to put on the if once you get the ring set up, it'll become the Band of Radiant Echoes, and it'll be island starting at eye level 227. And also that should have a little bonus XP on it as well. So um,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's solid. Like like I said, like what I was saying earlier, some of the notable items from the event will be besides the ring, there's going to be the Defender's Hefty Satchel with this is a 32 slot bag. There's going to be a remembered Golden Griffin and the remembered Windrider mount, which are both ones for the Alliance, of course, ones for Horde. The recruits reagent bag, a 30 slot reagent bag. Yes, please, thank you. That's a must. That's almost a must across all characters. A 30 slot reagent bag is a must.
Oh yeah.
Like the 32 slot bag, yeah, and they're both the same cost, 2,000 residual memories. And I heard that you get a good hefty amount of residual memories. So you should be able to do this event, like get a character pretty well decked out. Get them the bag, get them the other stuff. The mounts are the thing that costs the most, and the minions are 10,000 each. The mounts are 20,000, so you'll be able to like that's 20,000 if you want all three minions. You're looking at 50,000 right there. And then if you want the bags, that's 4,000. But then the gear is 2,000, 4,000, 3,500. So I'm assuming that the gear is easy. Like I'm assuming that 2,000 is something you should be able to do maybe one event and get a piece. That's what I'm hoping it should be. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I
I would
guess I
hope.
should. Yeah, I should probably curb my enthusiasm like a bit, like no pun intended there. But I'm in the same boat as you. I'm hopeful that it's gonna be like one portal. That's not the equivalence, right? But like you do one portal, one event, you get the thing, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So the zones here, so we can kind of understand like this is how it's going to go. So the zones will cycle every 90 minutes. So on the first week. So on starting the 30th, the day of the 30th, it's every 90 minutes the zones will cycle through. So it'll cycle through between blah, 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 Dragon Blight, Dustwallow Marsh, and Searing Gorge. I'm sorry. I take that back. It is. Oh, no, I was right. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, no, I was right. It'll cycle through those 3 areas every 90 minutes. Second week, it'll be every hour, and then the third and fourth weeks, it'll cycle through every 30 minutes. Week 3 and 4 are gonna be I'm slamming through these. I'm pretty much traveling to the next zone, waiting for the event to start, just to keep slamming at that point. Uh,
right.
like you're right. I'm gonna be using alts at this point. Like I'm gonna get my warrior in there first, uh get him the bags. Um try to and then I'll with the 20 if the residual memories is shared across the accounts, which it should be because of war bands, right?
Hmm.
Then I should be able just to buy them out on any character because it's not gonna matter. And then buy the minions because that's not gonna matter. And then just be like the rest of it is boom, 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 gear, right?
Yep.
Like and and then the lifeless stone. I I don't know how the hell that's gonna work. I don't know. I guess it's gonna be on whatever character. At that part. I need to figure out how that's gonna work. Like that one. That one's gonna be a tricky
Yeah.
thing because I want that. Unless I can do that the first week, maybe that's something you can knock out pretty quick. I'm hoping it is. I would hate to see them be like, "Oh, it's gonna take the full event." Please don't do that. Like, don't like let it be like a 1 or 2 week thing. Because I'm assuming if somebody starts late, right, you're gonna want them to get that ring geared up quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and
But I
like
mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and like if somebody has, oh, I work during the day, I'm only have a few hours a night. 90 minutes sucks. Like that's like an hour and a half to cycle through a zone. It's like, all right, I'll be able to do maybe two a night, right? Like let's like reasonable. Like, hey, I gotta wake up early. I'm an adult. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
kid. Like you can't like I'm staying up to 1. Like I got nothing going on. So, I gotta get my school. There's school nights. I gotta sleep. So, and then what's 30 every what's every hour and a half? Like, what if it's like at a weird time where it's like, all right, well, the last one was at 6 o'clock. I don't get home until 7. So that means I gotta like rush, go eat dinner, grab a shower, and then like hopefully be there in enough time to start the event. So, and hopefully players don't like slam it. Like I can't get a hit in. So,
Oh yeah, like the Legion event. Oh my god, that was
yeah.
rough.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was rough, but you leveled way fast,
yeah.
way fast. Ah,
Uh,
I hope the leveling's on the tier. I know it won't be because they nerfed it. But if they don't nerf it, maybe don't nerf it.
like yeah, you said you were going to be alt friendly. Like let's. I mean,
Yeah, don't nerf it.
Oh yeah.
Let's have something nice. Let it be nice. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the war bands. It's if the new character stuff or they're letting us play with all the new things before. I know we're not gonna be able to get the talent trees, the new talent trees going, but the changes to classes if they're coming, that's gonna be you know good to start letting us play with some of that stuff. But I'm excited, Talon. I'm definitely excited about the pre-patch event and the everything going on with said pre-patch event. Um, so with that though, like what else is there coming outside of see there's the Radiant Echoes overview. We're getting the war bands and this says the I guess class adjustments are coming then as well.
You would
Hmm.
assume so, but I don't know. Like if it were me and I was in Blizzard right now, I would just be like, you know what, we're not gonna touch this until a War Within anyway. We'll just do that during the maintenance when everything is down, because like it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to throw out some adjustments this late into the expansion. Like especially when a lot of it's going to change, unless they're doing like free adjustments, I guess. But you know, there are some people still trying to do the thing, um, and probably going up until the last minute to do it. So that would feel a little crappy if they didn't have the opportunity before everything changed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's tinfoil hat type stuff. Like if I'm not the CEO, obviously, but I'd like to think that they would wait on it. Um, But no, dude, I really think that's it as far as like big upcoming like news. I mean, it's just pre-patch stuff.
Yeah.
Um, which is it's like, oh well, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. There's speculation to go wild, but I mean, it's pre-patch. It's pre-patch, and it's like the excitement behind that um, is just like, man, I don't know. How would I put this? So, um, I haven't stayed up and put myself down and sat at a computer, waiting for a WoW expansion to launch in years.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing that very thing for pre-patch and the War Within, because that's how like here for it I am, and I just like I want it to be here. Um, I want to get in and I want to start doing the mount farms. I want to start like doing, well, I mean, I guess I can't do all of the things right away, right? But Like I really want to get in here and I want to start doing all of the things. And um, but there is a bit of unknown to all of it too that can kind of like keep us munching on, right? Um, so how effective is it going to be for the leveling part? And if it isn't as effective as we think it's going to be, what alts do we take in there? Like there's all sorts of other like goody type, I don't know, tinfoil hat speculation stuff that we could be doing in the meantime, which I've already been doing to begin with. But you know, I like that there's still some mystery around for those who don't do the data mine stuff, because all of the stuff that I'm like possibly projecting may already be out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would like to see some other changes to, like, like you said, like Ian has a coast said, like we're trying to make it more alt friendly. I would also like to see some other things change as well. Like, I think about the people who've been like farming mounts for like 10, 20 years. Like, I think that like the slight increase to mount drops for your first try every time is fine. I think they should increase it a little bit more. Like, at this point, does anybody like, oh, you got Invincible's reigns. But if you got it last week, like, does it matter? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does it matter? Like, does it matter? They're like, if you got it at the time it was rating or now, like, like if people are still farming it, what's like the viability of you being like, I got this amount, bro? I got tons of mounts.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm
at
saying?
this point, yeah.
Like, like who's out there saying like I got it was before it was cool. Like, okay, like, all right, cool. Like, if like really your heroic or your ahead of the curve things achievements are way more impressive than like amount you may get, right? Um
Hmm.
so it's hard to say like, hey, don't do that. Don't, like, who cares? Nobody cares. Really, to me, like in vanilla, if you got like a weapon drop, a specific like gear drop, it was like that was your badge of honor. And then like later on, like same for like like in um Burning Crusade, right? If you got the Warglaze of Azeroth, that person put some work in, right? Especially if they got two of them. That means they did double work to wield two of those suckers. Like, I got two of these bad boys. And then it's like, hey, and then like if you did Lich King, if you did the legendary quest and got your legendary weapon, that's some work. And if you got the mount, great. Like that, that tags on top of it. But now like you start heading into like Miss Pandaria and Cataclysm and all these other things. I was like, okay, you can just keep farming and farming and farming and farming, and eventually you'll get the mount. Once you get the mount, cool. Who cares? Like, who's out there like, like if you got it later than anybody else, then everyone's gonna be like, well, so you know. So to me, it's like, I guess put a little bit of weight on it, but maybe it's just kind of like you
Let
do.
us go.
Yeah, just let us go a little bit. Like, not saying like 100% drop rate. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, Final Fantasy does that with their raids, right? Like, even if you go back and do an older raid, the last boss of the raid is going to give you 100% drop amount, right?
Hmm.
You can go back to the early raids. Well, I shouldn't say that. You can go back to earlier raids. I shouldn't say like the very first raid because that's not necessarily true, but the like Alexander raids, right? When they started really like dropping mounts and stuff for it. And then you're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna get a mount at the end. Like certain bosses dropped a mount, and it's like, all right, cool, I got a mount. That's great. And you can go do it right now. Like, you're overpowered, you can go in there and like pretty much one shot a boss. And then you're cool, you get a mount. Nobody in Final Fantasy is like ever like, oh, look at you. Well, you know what speaks volumes? If you do like their ultimate rating and you got that weapon and everyone's
Yeah,
like,
you get that
yeah,
super shiny, glowy weapon. You're just like,
yeah,
hey, this guy, this person here they did a thing, and they
yeah,
really did a thing.
yeah. So that's the kind of stuff I want to see them bring into War Within is like less like mount. Like, I'm not saying not don't do mount drops, absolutely, like, the one thing Blizzard does really well is give you mounts, please continue with giving us mounts, that's cool.
So
Uh,
it sounds like you're saying that you want more gear prestige.
I think like, gear prestige, but even, like, transmog prestige, right? Like, even if it's, like, if it's a legendary, great, like, or if it's like, "Hey, this transmog's really hard to get, but it's the coolest thing," like, you can always put it on no matter what, right? Like, it doesn't have to be something you unlock, but now with their whole how their unlock system works, doesn't matter, like, you can make it a good weapon and make it be cool. Um, I would even say I would love to see, like, weapon quest lines. Not like Legion weapon quest lines, but, like, epic quest lines for a weapon, right? And, not to say, like, power it up, like, but, like, hey, uh, prot warrior quest line that was, like, lore heavy and you got a cool weapon. Again, not like Legion, but, like, something new, um, or, something that's like, hey, but it's something like to get it started, it's rare, and once you get it, it's like, yeah, now I'm on this dope quest and I gotta do all these things. And once I get there, kind of like they did in for example, like the one they did with Wrath of the Lich King, right? In order to get you had to get the drop first, and then you had to do all this farming, and then once you got it to the end of it, you got this dope legendary weapon, and that was great. That was such a cool thing. I would love to see that happen again because it gave chances, but just make it for everybody though. Like I think their biggest thing is like, oh, this one class is gonna get a legendary. Like Legion gave everybody a legendary, and they were like, "Oh, we went too far because everybody complained about powering up the weapons, not the weapon." So you gotta pick and choose your battles, butts. like,
Yep.
like I think you're picking the wrong side of the battle. Like, just make things sort of cool. So I don't know if that's gonna happen with all those new systems coming in, but to me, like if you're gonna give me alts, you're gonna give me this. Like, there's some other things I would like to see come in this expansion that would love to be maybe not like right off the rip, but sort of close to the rip.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that comes the other side of that coin. So for years we've been asking for alt friendly anything, right? But
Yeah,
like true to the matter, alt friendly, and the fact that there's even a phrase called alt, like that's coined alt friendly, should speak volumes to how difficult it was to
yeah,
maintain an alt
hmm
um, in World of Warcraft. So now that we're getting it, and I'm not complaining about it, like don't get me wrong, but now what differentiates your main? Like how do you know, like if you jumped on any one character, how do you know that, oh, this is the one that's like this got the mojo. This is the one that I've spent the most time on, or the one I'm spending the most time on in this expansion, right? Is there going to be anything that kind of like marks? I guess I'm kind of talking about like a warband leader, like the one that is kind of heading all of the things that you're doing for your ults.
that's a
Um,
great that's a great question. Like maybe we can like maybe that's something they'll add later is like you could designate like, hey, this is the warband leader. This is the one like that heads up and that maybe I don't know. Like I don't know how that works. Like maybe it's the person that's got the most like the higher gear score because then like everything's gonna default to giving them the bonus loot that gives you the other character's loot, right? Or if all characters get that loot because it's just gonna be one tier lower, then it's kind of a win. So again, I think we have to think of it and again, like I am using Final Fantasy as a point of reference for this, but um 'cause it works that way, is that, instead of your character being the main character, think of us as the character, and then all the alts we created are gonna be the jobs or the classes we play, right? So, you're gonna get, yes, individuality between each race class that you play, unlike Final Fantasy where it's like, "Alright, I'm only this one race, but I can be all the I can be all the classes." Where in World of Warcraft, you're going to be able to do multiples of things. Like you can be a goblin mage, a hunt, a Draenei hunter, a blood elf paladin. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be able to do all these things and still benefit from the the progression of a Final Fantasy. Um, which great. Like if that's truly how it works, that's fantastic. Um, we'll find out in a few days. Like
Yeah,
really,
it's
so
right around the corner. So
because we'll be able to start seeing it in fruition, right? Like we should be able to start seeing that gear
as
drop
long as
thing.
as long as we're like reading this correctly, which I mean, there is a possibility that we're just misinterpreting some of this, but I don't think that we are. Um,
No, and
yeah, we should be able to start seeing. Yeah, just like you said, we should be able to start seeing how the system's going to work. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like Warbands is going to be fully released to us Tuesday. Now, having reread what you were mentioning earlier.
yeah, and there's something else that was not on the drop notice. I pulled up the World Soul Saga like little like I don't know what this is like
Cheat
sort of
sheet.
yeah, it's sort of a cheat sheet. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's their full like lineup for the full expansion yet, or like starting the expansion, but it's like their pre-expansion cheat sheet. So something I noticed that's coming out on the 23rd as well is cross realm guilds. So we have Horde Alliance guilds already. Now we're gonna be able to cross realm the guilds now. They're really removing as many barriers. Like you can pretty much tell me that we're on a mega server at this point now.
Yeah, yeah. Is this also when we're gonna get cross faction guilds as well?
We already have cross faction guilds. We had it since I don't know, like 5, 6 months ago.
I g- Rip.
Yeah, hold on.
Did I just miss that?
Faction.
Because I have some tunes that I was leveling on the alliance just to kind of get ready. Uh,
Yeah, hold on. I'll let you know when it happened. No longer will you have to wish your horde heart could find a home with the amazing alliance guild you just cleared a random with. Nor do you have to don a cheery alliance front after wishing a fond farewell to some fantastic horde heroes after successful heroic. We're blurring the faction line for guilds and allowing players to create and join the same realm guilds with their friends from the opposite faction with the Embers of Neltharion update coming on May 2nd. This was back on 2023. I'm sorry, this is a year ago. This
wow.
is over a year ago.
Wow.
Some things to remember with cross faction guilds. Guild affiliation with the Alliance or Horde will depend on the faction of the guild leader, and guild achievements and vendors will still reflect the guild's primary faction. Guild members of the opposite faction will benefit from the unlocked shared perks, but cannot contribute to specific achievements. As an example, Alliance members of a Horde guild cannot contribute to progress towards the Alliance Slayer guild. I mean, that's fair. Uh, guild repairs and social conveniences like shared chat will be available to opposite faction guild members. Players must be Battle.net friends or be a part of the same Battle.net community to invite or receive an invitation to an opposite faction guild of the same realm. Opposite faction guildmates can only play community inside instances. They'll be considered unfriendly to each other or hostile in war mode in the outdoor world, which is fun. Like, the idea is to play less. I would love to see them, not have that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, I get it.
Mhm.
I understand.
When is it going to be seamless between the two? I guess was a better.
Yeah. That's a great question. That's the question. Is when is it going to be seamless? Um, you know, and also maybe can we drop the restriction of them, us having to be battle.net friends? Like, I would just like, is there a reason for that? Shouldn't have to be a reason for that, right? Like, you can add rando hordes, right? Like, we have, there's the Nightcap Guild on, where we're at. And, if I want to be able to invite whoever I want, like, it shouldn't matter if they're on my friends list or not. So I
You
don't
would
know.
think so. Well,
Like,
I mean, and that's more or less what I was asking because I knew like the whole cross faction thing like already kind of happened, but I thought it was I don't know. I guess I just had like a different idea of what it would be implemented as, and maybe that's why I didn't really pay much attention when it happened. Because there's no way that I would have just like totally ignored that, right? Well, I mean, I guess there is a way, but
yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem as like it could be better. Like, do we still have to do the faction thing? Like, we've gone through the Burning Crusade, the Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mop. Well, what was after Mop? Battle for Azeroth, Shadowlands, and now the War Within, or Dragonflight. Now the War Within. Am I missing one?
Let's see. For the Shadowlands or Dragonflight or Within. Well, that seems right.
Yeah. Well, either way, like we've been through so many freaking expansions, working with the Horde and Alliance working
Legion.
or work. Oh, Legion. Well, I mean, you can't blame me there. Uh, but yeah, okay. So we've been through 9 expansions at this point. Going through and helping the other faction, and then coming to terms and like having these big moments of you're really not so bad. Oh, you're really not so bad. I mean, can we just accept the fact that we're all people living in Azeroth or on Azeroth, and let's just trying to like do our best?
I
Like,
think.
do we really need to have these faction war crap things anymore?
I don't think they're gonna do it anymore. I don't. Based on War Within, right? Like, I'm starting to think that they're pulling away from the faction. Like, there's still gonna be a horde. There's still gonna be an alliance. I don't know if we need a faction war. Like they'd have. Part of me is like, if they do a faction war again, what's the point? Like, what is going to turn? Like, rather we do like a long time skip. I mean a long time skip where it's like, hey, there's been peace. There's been peace. There's been peace. Something has broken the peace. Right now, it wasn't like, hey, it's been a couple of years. I'm talking about like a good chunk of time has gone on, right? And like Thrall's kids are becoming in charge, and like whoever on the alliance has grown and changed, and those people are now older and becoming in charge, and like now there's a faction war again. Like, okay, what is happening, and how are these new people going to take care of this faction war, and what are they going to do to handle it after years of peace between these two? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is a more interesting concept than like, okay, well, we're at it again. Here we go again, I guess.
So, like, I mean, I would like to experience, for a while anyway, like what it is to like. I want to be able to walk as a horde member, and this is probably sacrilege. Um, I want to be able to walk as a horde member through the gates of Stormwind and not be attacked by the guards.
Sort of like the buff we get when Horde walk into the new Night Owl zone. It's like, you're being watched closely.
Yeah.
Like I kind of agree. Like,
then if you do any aggressive action towards a guard, an NPC, like only the opposite faction can attack an NPC, right?
Yeah.
So like an alliance can't attack an alliance NPC, but a horde can attack an alliance NPC, and then it's the choosing to not to. And then you still have access to all the achievements and everything, right? If you want to do, but the moment you bop one of them, all right, it's go time. Like, we're gonna send Stormwind on top of you or Orgrimmar on your face, and so
like, what if you get banned from the city for like a few days or whatever? Just like it's got a cooldown on it. Like, hey, like, how dare you? And you kind of get thrown into the
stockade.
The stockades.
What would be really cool? The way that you find out about that is as soon as you try to walk through that threshold again, it instantly teleports you to the stockade.
Stockades? Oh my god, that'd be
cool. That would never happen, but that would be That would be super cool.
It'd be cool. And then you can do one
Talk
of
to
two
the guard.
things.
Okay, I'll leave, and then they'll let you out. Like
You're
you
like,
can
I'll be
come
on
back in.
you'll be released on good behavior or whatever. You're like, all right. And then like if you do that, maybe it hard. Oh no, I don't want to hard reset your timer. That'd be funny. That'd be too mean. That's almost too mean. But like it'd be funny
Yeah.
if you could like pay or like, all right, well, you could have two options. Like you could sink 1,000 gold and be free of this, or like every time the fee goes up, like every time you do it, like if you do it, like if you pay it in 1 week and you do it again, like it goes up by like 1,000 gold, and then it's like 5,000 gold until it gets like exuberant. You're like, all right, I can't afford this. I gotta calm down. And then every time you
need to make it as expensive as a freaking bank slot.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like it goes up every time. Like only if you do it in the same week that you get caught. Like if it's the following week, but then for every chance that you pay them off and you do it again that same week, I think the timer should go longer. Like the first time it's like, all right, you don't have access to the city for like, let's say 24 hours, right? Like 24-hour time period, you do it for a night. It's funny, haha. You only lose access for the day. But then like the next day, you're like, or you pay on the spot. You're like, I'm going to pay now. And you do it again. It's like, okay, now it's 3 days. And then it just goes up from there, 3 to 5, 5 to 7. Like, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes up from there. But the money goes up every time the gold amount cost goes up. And you're like, all right. like I keep dying. I'm not going to do it because it's not worth it. But like, if you had a lot of hordes that wanted, like, if you really, like, you could even do a whole new,
type of content for that.
Not even that. There was in Wrath of the Lich King. Let me see the name of the achievement. Wrath of the Lich King.
They're about like not Warsong Gulch, but that like, well, is it Warsong? The or Warsong Basin or whatever it's called. No, Wintergrasp. Wintergrasp.
I got it. It's from all right. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Hold on. There is a. It's from killing. It's the Black Warbear. There it is. And it is. It is done by. So it's a PvP mount, but it's not through PvP like the games and stuff like that. You had to go in and you had to kill all 5 alliance leaders. So you had to go in and kill, or like the leaders on either side. It didn't have to be alliance or horde. So you had to kill Magni, Varian, Tyrande, and Velen.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And it's called For the Horde or For the Alliance. You could make a new For the Horde or For the Alliance, right? Like you have to go in, maybe like have a raid group together, but then it's even ballsier, right? Because not only do you have to go in to the main city of Stormwind, you have to go and kill figure out how to get in there as a raid group quietly, right? Get close enough, try to kill the leader, whoever the leader is at that time, kill the leader, right? Then hop on the train, get over to Iron Forge, kill the leaders over there. Get over to get over to Velen, kill the leaders over there. But then and then you have to kill Tyrande, and then on top of it, you might have to go even further and say like, hey, all right, you're gonna have to kill these people, but then also you're gonna dig a little deeper, and then you're gonna have to go here, and now it's like all 40 of you are now like outlawed for like a month or whatever, but you get a mount at the end of it.
and to like add on an entirely different layer on top of that, because each faction talks to the other city, state, or like country or whatever, right? So if you attack, let's say you attack Ironforge, well, Stormwind is going to be looking for you, so you're already flagged. So when you try to go to do that next one, like they're already looking for you. And to like make it much more impressive, you have to do it within that week, right? So that the jail retimer sets every week, like on Tuesday or whenever the weekly reset is. Look, man, I think we're really cooking up something. And so, look, if there are any devs listening to this, which, if you are, hey, thanks and all that, you should like talk to us, send us an email. Secondly, like, let's have a conversation about this because I really think this could be a thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. I think I miss kind of a little bit of old WoW where you're like you did stuff like that. Like you got like I remember us meeting in Dalaran and getting like the group together and it's like, all right. And then sometimes you had to make sure that there was nobody that was also an alliance team that was going to tip the alliance off, right? Like, hey, like you had to sneak through. I remember
Hmm.
sneaking across the continents and they were like as soon as you killed the first one, you had to keep moving because it was
Yep.
a death train that had I remember there was one
They
point we
were
did it.
after you.
They were after you. I remember the night that we did it, we had a few other raid alliances there, like helping us out. Like it was imagine one full 40-person raid and then having two other 40-person raids along with you, just wrecking house. Just the alliance could now was it a horde size? It was a horde server? Yeah, a little bit on the horde side. But they were big. They fought. Like I'm talking about they put up a good fight because it was hectic. Hectic. And it was so much fun. Like I remember like getting the bear. All of us took a giant photo in Dalaran. Oh, it was a blast. It's such a blast. Such a blast.
I
I would
think
love to do that stuff again.
so. I think that this would be a really neat way to implement this again because it adds a layer that wasn't there before, where you could get that entire raid group together, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a party of more than 10, it's instantly going to flag you. Okay, so first off, secondly, if you go on there, let's say with like a group of 9, right?
Mhm.
You're just like, no big deal, everything's fine, don't mind us, don't mind us, and then you do the whammy, right? You're like, oh, I thought we were friends, and like, what happened to peace? You do the whammy. You're doing the whammy with expectations of like nobody's gonna know what exact player did it because like what horde member would have done it because there's going to be a bunch of horde around there, so it makes it even harder for the defending players to like find you, and then it sets up a precedent to actually defend the next leader even more so, just kind of like you were saying there. Then like a chain of events would happen. We're like, hey, we need a bunch of people hanging out in Ironforge. We need a bunch of people hanging out in the what is it, the X Excelsior or whatever, the Valen. Like we need a bunch of people over there. Like we need people checking out the gnomes, make sure that they're okay. I think that, oh man, I want to. Now I'm mad because this isn't going to be anywhere. Like this isn't going to happen. Uh,
Might
but I want this to be a thing.
could happen. Could be a thing.
Yeah, it could be.
Could happen. We don't know. We don't know what's coming in this expansion. So I mean I really don't know. Like I'm excited either way. So
Well, even though this may not be the thing that happens, there are some awesome and amazing things coming down the pipeline, and we're going to get our first taste of what the War Within is going to be like in the coming days and the following weeks. So look forward to it. I know I am. I know Flattus is. And if you've got thoughts about pre-patch, if you've got thoughts about the War Within, make sure you shoot us an email. Reach out to us on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Let us know your thoughts.
yeah. You can go to actually you can find us right on our link tree. So just go there. You can find all of our socials and reach out to us on one of the many. If you're not on Twitter X or wherever well we are where you're at. Let's just put it that way. Wherever you're at, we're there. So Linktree/WoW Nightcap. You'll find the links to all of our things. I think with that, I think we're excited, and I think we're gonna roll right into pre-patch. Next episode will be a week after the pre-patch event goes live. So Tal and I will have more in-depth information, what's happening, how's it going, how are the currency drop rates. Like we'll be able to dig in a little bit more, tell you how it's going, and hopefully, it's going well. hopefully. Maybe we'll have things to talk about. Maybe I'll have my ring by then and it's already fully leveled and I come back with great news. So let's see. We'll also be able to talk about war bands and all the things. So let's be happy people and see what happens. So Talon, do you have anything else left for the night?
I sure don't. Paying out my tab and looking forward to a great expansion.
All right. Well, don't forget these rounds were on us, but the next round's on you. And that's going to happen next time. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to leave. And remember, adventure responsibly. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this episode of WoW Nightcap. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.